Kia ora. Welcome back. Hope you've all been well. Let me just introduce myself in case you've just stumbled across this. My name's Carla and this is my sewing and knitting and crafty podcast that I typically put out once a month. I'm coming to you from the east coast of the North Island of Aotearoa, New Zealand. And today is Sunday the 25th of, was it the 26th? I think it's the 26th. The 26th of January. So welcome. Intro's always awkward. Yeah, so I think I might just, that's a bit better. Pop myself down a little bit. Yeah, so we're nearly at the end of January and yeah, I thought I've got to go back to work end of next week. And so I thought now was a good time to sit down and talk to you guys about all the things I've been up to this month. I was actually dressed up ready to go this morning and it was pouring with rain and I couldn't be bothered dragging all the stuff that was inside the house to the outside. So, just going to tidy that. So I got changed again and then I had a little nap for about half an hour around midday because I felt tired. And then woke up and it's all sunny now. It's hot too. So my face doesn't look that great anymore because, you know, it's all faded from having a nap. But I chucked the dress back on and we're rocking and ready to go. So we're just going to do this in the traditional podcast manner where I just run through finished objects. Hang on a minute. Sorry, my daughter sent me a text. I need to check that. I might need to whip that out. Mum. What was I talking about? Yeah, standard format. Stuff we've finished, stuff I'm making, stuff I've got, stuff I'm planning to get, and just a little life update at the end. Yeah, and I always write a list before I start these things so I can sort of don't forget anything. And I've looked down and I've got holy moly. I don't think I've done that much, but I've done quite a lot. A lot of sewing. Yeah, so the first thing is this dress actually. This is the Tammy dress, which is a Fibremood pattern. It comes in two options. You can have it like this or you can have it with long sleeves, but I wanted a summer one. And I've made this just with cheap black calico and I really, really like it. It's got this frill that runs from the front down to the back. And the side has got a channel here where you can gather and tie the sides. And yeah, I just think it's just lovely. So it's going to be a nice dress for just something a little bit nice, something a little bit, not quite used to having all these frills everywhere. But anyway, that's that. I love this pattern. It was easy to follow and the fit is perfect. So I really can't say much more about it. I wouldn't say it's not a beginner friendly pattern, but I'd say if you've been sewing for a little while, you'll probably be alright. Just go slow. The fiddliest bit was probably placing the frill along the edge of this V and then sewing it to the dress front, really. And then after that it was pretty much plain sailing. Anyway, I'll pop the Fibremood website in the show notes so that you can just go straight there for that. I think were they having a sale, or maybe it's Style Arc, I can't remember, but yes. So then the other thing I made, so back in December, you guys, if you've been watching before, you'll remember that my daughter and I went on a little trip down to the region south of us, and we did an op shopping trip, which, for those who don't know, op shop is a thrift store, a charity store. And I came across this silk fabric. It was just in pieces, and I managed to get enough to make this top, which is the square neck top by Friday Pattern Company. I'm going to actually get changed, and I'll do some little B-rolls to the side so that you can see. Really, really easy pattern, and it's quite a good pattern in that she's got two different lots of pattern pieces depending on whether you want to make it from a woven fabric or a knit fabric, which I think is great. Yeah, sits really well. It looks really nice with that bramble skirt that I made last month. So yeah, here's that one. Not much to say about it because it was really, really simple and quick. The next thing is, this is a dress that I started making before, I'm sure, it was before I started filming knitting podcasts and crafty podcasts, this channel, before I started this channel. And I don't know, I thought maybe it would be too small around the waist, and I don't know, there was all sorts of reasons why I didn't finish it. All I had to do was, hang on a minute, all I actually had to do was sew on buttons and hem it. And that was all that needed to be done. So I did it. This, I'll put it on, and then you can have a look at me wearing it. It's very heavy. It's made of a heavy denim, and then it's just got a cotton lining. The back, it's got pocketses, and then the back is buttoned down the back, and then the straps cross over and they're buttoned as well. Now the pattern did call for you to put bias binding across around the hem, and I had started doing that, and I think I didn't like how it looked, so I unpicked what I'd done and I just overlocked the bottom, and then I just hand stitched the hem, and that looks pretty good. This pattern has French seams, and yeah, it's the Milton dress from Peppermint magazine, and I have a funny feeling that it was in collaboration with Spoonflower, but I will double check that and then I'll correct it on the screen if I'm wrong. So yeah, it fits lovely. It's actually a little bit loose, so that's great. So it means I can pop like a jumper or something like that on, because it really is a winter garment. It's very heavy, but yeah, I've had it sitting on the mannequin for ages and then it's just gone to a rack, and then it's just sat down and meh. So yeah, so I'll just pop you down there and I can do you later. The other thing I did was, quite a while ago, I decided I wanted to design and make a gardening apron. And I bought the fabric and I told my sister about it, and she was quite excited. She's like, every now and then she'd go, "Oh, Wolf, have you, Wolf is my nickname that she calls me. Wolf, have you made that gardening apron?" And I think she's kind of hinting like, maybe I'd make it for her. Anyway, I when I finally decided to get around to having a play and making it, putting the design concept onto paper and measuring things out, I realised I had just enough fabric for 2. So I made mine first so I could figure out any quirks or whatever, and then I made one for my sister. So the one I'm showing you here is mine because my sister has hers. She's had hers in the mail. I've used cotton duck canvas, and I think I got this from Spotlight. I've just used 2 colours. That's the back. That's a casing for a belt. I just haven't sorted a belt out yet. And then we've got 4 narrow pockets across here, and then 2 bigger ones in here. So I guess, yeah, that I've shown you guys, I can put it into use. I did enjoy making this. And I think the biggest challenge for me was trying to get the bias binding on nice and figuring out the my tension on my machine using the heavy top stitching thread. And in the end I realised that it was probably better to use the top stitching thread in the needle and just ordinary thread in the bobbin, because that's at the back anyway, because the stitches were terrible. They were just going wonky when I had them both. Just trying to find an example. So yeah, so that's what I did there. So that is my garden apron, no name, just mine. So yeah, lovely fabric, eh? I can't remember the designer. I think if you remember a while back I made some cushions for the lounge. It's the same, I think it's the same fabric designer. Yeah. And then what else have I got on my list? I made a dress yesterday. I started the night before and I finished it yesterday morning so I could wear it out, but I'll probably wear it out tonight. It is the wide strap dress, which once again I'll show you some b-roll. I've made this dress before a few years ago. I made it out of a pin cord. This is linen. It's called the wide strap dress, wide strap maxi dress, and it is a collaboration between Peppermint Magazine and Albie Textiles, and it fits beautifully. And I think this is size F, so it's huge size range. It's got an elastic at the back, so it fits nice. It's got pockets. Pockets have got a nice detail. If you see any thread sticking out, it's just because these have got French seams and sometimes you don't catch all the threads. Well, and splits up the side. So yeah, it's lovely. In fact, that I think this dress would be sort of able to be worn in summer and the winter because it's quite heavy, but it's quite flowy. Like I wore it yesterday, it's quite hot, and just into town just to do a few bits. I just wanted to wear it, and yeah, it was nice. So that is a really simple pattern if you would like to give that a go. Yeah, and that's all. Oh, it's not all the things I've made, but I'll show you the other thing when I show you something else. Does that sound elusive? Okay, so I'm such a bad podcaster because, hang on a minute. Thank God for that. Oh, I thought for a second there that I might not have hit record. Because the thing I'm going to show you, I can't remember what it's called. So I'll put it on the screen. So if you guys will remember, I started a cast on, and I started working on a cowl. That's as far as I've got there, so I'm halfway. And this is a Curious, was it Helen Stewart? Curious Handmade pattern. Very, very simple. And the yarn that I'm using is, what were they called? I can see the label. Oh, I can't remember. It's like a merino and rami blend, which is a type of viscose. My lovely friend Angie, who is one of you guys, she dyed up 3 sets of mini skeins, and she kept one for herself, one for me, and one for our friend Kelly, who is Row on Cades here on YouTube. And we decided that we would all knit the same thing, and yeah, that's what we've done. So I'm up to, so there were 11 mini skeins, so we divided each mini skein in half, and you just worked it until it ran out basically. And this is number 11, so I will actually join in the second half of this next, and then go to green and just reverse it back. Angie's finished hers. I don't know if Kelly started hers. Poor thing was feeling a little bit pressured, but there's no pressure, Kelly. Knitting is supposed to be fun, and we don't do knitting for a job like you do. But it's, oh, I wish you guys could feel it. It's so slinky. It's lovely. So there you go. Oh, and I'll show you the little stitch marker, even though I've probably showed it already. But Angie is from Illinois, and you can see it says 1 more row. Hopefully you can see that, because my phone seems to go out of focus. I'm just going to make sure it's focusing, because I've done that before and I didn't realise that it was still focusing on. Hopefully that worked. Yeah, so there's that. Now, what was that? Oh yes. So then that leads me to, I've worked on just about most, not all, but a good portion of all my whips this month. I've just been giving everything a little bit of love. That's why there's so much to show you. So last week, Kelly, Rower on Cades, Kelly Menzies, she released this beautiful beast of a pattern. And it's called Dusting of Frost Socks, and it was a collaboration between her and Ambah of Little Lycac Yarns. That is a colourway that Ambah dyed up. I think Kelly said that she won a naming competition for the yarn. It was like Frosted Berries or something. Or was it a naming competition, or was it might have been, what do you call it? Inspiration picture or something like that. She did explain it, but I can't remember. But anyway, you can actually get these sock kits from Ambah. I don't know if she's got any left, but you can give it a go. So pretty. So I had gotten a gift from my lovely friend Sue Dale, and she had sent me a whole lot of her yarn stash, and there were some beautiful sock yarns in there. It's like, oh my god. So she sent me this one, which is Life of Birds, and it's called, I can't even read that, something iris. So that's the colours there. And this is how far I've got. I'm on the foot, baby. There's a fat thrush on the front fence there. Hopefully you can see that all right. The colours are just gorgeous. This yarn is so nice. It's buttery. It's just got that beautiful feeling. And I decided that to stop me from getting second sock syndrome, what I'm going to do is pick up a sock knit that I haven't done for a while, which is also Kelly's pattern. I actually test knit for it, and I only ever completed one and then did the cuff of the second and then didn't do any more sock knitting. Like, this is pretty much the first sock I've picked up. So these are the Cumulus socks knitted in yarn that I dyed myself. So I figure that when I cast off the bind off the first one, I sew up that toe, I'm going to pick up this, knit this second sock, and then knit the second sock of that, and it won't feel like I'm knitting the same thing over and over again. Do you believe me? So yeah, so then by the end I'll have 2 pairs of socks, which I think is brilliant thinking on my part. I'll just put these away, otherwise it's starting to get hot in here now. Whew, steamy, steamy. Okay. The next thing I've been working on, which I hadn't worked on for ages, is my Gloam, which is like a cardigan / jacket. And that's a pattern by Caitlin Hunter of Boyland Knitworks. And I am using, it's a spin to knit project. In fact, it's a, I don't even know what because I'm using carded wool that I've already got, like I purchased. But I'm using raw alpaca, that fleece that was given to me, and then processing all that and then blending it with the wool fleece to spin to make this. So this is that skein. It's my latest skein. Finally plied that up the other day and washed it and skeined it. Skeined it and washed it. And this is where I've got to. I need to, so that's the back. And I need to have 18 centimetres, so it's probably about here. So a little bit more. It's going to be a lovely garment in the winter. Oh, so nice. I think I've got that much more left of that. So that's just a little update on the Gloam. It's not going anywhere. I actually took that to Speedway the other day and it was really nice because it was just simple. Didn't have to think. The other knitting pattern that I've picked up after a little bit of a break is the Broken Wings shawl by Locatelli, and I don't know why, but I don't have the pattern with me. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So I think the last time, I haven't put a marker in, but I know I took note. The last time I showed you, I think I was about here, and now I'm up here. So I think that's going to be quite a lovely, and this is also yarn gifted to me by Sue Dale, and I think it's called Chestnuts Roasting, or Roasted Chestnuts by Lay Family Yarn, which was a double excitement because I love Kelly from Lay Family Yarn, so I was like, oh yay. And it is in this little East Anglia Yarn Festival bag that Sue also enclosed, and so I'm using it as my sock project bag. And I can pretend that I went to the UK and I went to the East Anglian Festival. Oh yeah, this is just from when I went to the UK last year. No, I don't need to show you that because I've... Oh yes, got this one here. So, I told you it's lots. This is the Haiku, which I've told you about before. I'm knitting it with a cone of linen. And I have made some progress on this. I think I've knitted about 2 inches. Yeah, 2 inches since I last showed you. I think I was up to about here. I should really put progress keepers in there, eh? But I forget. So that's the top. And yeah. Just about ready. Not far from splitting for the sleeves. So I can't get my words right. I might need a drink of water. Crochet out. Yeah, so there's not much more to say about that, but that's my update on that project. Oh, shiver me timbers, the temperature, the mercury is rising, guys. Whew. And then we've got the Radvent cardigan. So I'm going to show you both sides because I haven't updated on both sides. So this is from my Midwinter Minis Advent last year from Mama Wooling. So I don't want that to run away. You had to actually leave a certain amount of yarn on it. So this is my first half. Get there eventually. Yeah. So that's my first half. And this is my second half. So you can see it's quite cool how it's sort of it's lovely. And those are the colours that I had left. So I've been working away on that as well. Oops, now I'm dropping everything. I've got everything in separate bags because we don't want the old moppies to get in there and get into anything. Oh, probably should have put that in there. Can you see my face starting to glisten? I'm so hot. How many times can she tell you that she's really hot? Let's just put this away before it gets... No. Right. Let's see. Do I have anything else left on my list? Yes, I do. I thought I'd update you on the crochet blanket because I have done a bit more work on that. Once again, I haven't kept any note of any progress. This is the scrappy blanket that I'm making for my sister. She does not know about it. It's going to be a birthday present for her. Her birthday is in May, so I better get cracking. So there we go. And it's pretty much the same right across. And these are all thrifted or second-hand balls, odds and ends that people have given me. I've got maybe 2 bins full. And what I do is I'll hold, say for example, oh excuse me, might hold a thick piece like that with a ball like that, which is just, I've just wound off, made a ball of different colours and I've just tied them together with a knot. So now that it's been so long since I did that, I actually can't remember what's in here, so it's quite exciting when you get to the next colour. So yeah, that's Teresa's little treat. And then one more whip. I think this is it. One more whip. Let's get some stuff down there. I don't want all this stuff lying around. If you remember my summer knits and crochet, or summer gift knitting and crochet video, I showed a few things, and a lot of them are things that I wanted to have a go at making myself. So I have had a go at making this, which is called, just need to see if I can find the picture, the Candy Line Summer Headband pattern. It's free. Knits by Ana Luisa Moreno Teixeira. And yeah, class is an intermediate pattern, but you know, I'm not an intermediate crocheter, but I'm going to give it a go. So I've just started, and I'm using this cone of cotton silk because I still have heaps of it left after knitting a jersey with it, and this is the colour I think that I would wear in my hair. I think that'd be quite nice. So there you go. Hopefully next time you see me that is made. And yeah, so let's just pop that there. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So that is all of that stuff. I have a few little acquisitions / plans, so I thought I'd quickly share those with you guys too. So my sister sent me a Christmas present. She ordered this from the UK in June. Or was it earlier than June? She received it like July last year. And I think it was like a 6-week, because I made to order. So can you guess what that is? Hopefully it's still focusing. I have been very spoilt to a beautiful pair of dressmaking. I wish you could feel what that feels like. So nice. It even comes, oh no, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, that's better. Is the compulsory second sneeze coming? But anyway, she gave me that. So they're living in this case because why not keep them nice for a little while at least? No, I'll keep them nice forever, but you know what I mean. Oh my gosh, I'm so hot. It's got so damn hot in here. No air conditioning here, people. Yes, so I got that, and then I've purchased this pattern here, which is the Sweater of Dreams. I didn't purchase it, sorry. I got it for free with a free code. By Claire Jackson of Perfectly Knotted. She's got some lovely patterns, so I was really stoked when I saw this. So I've favourited a few that I'll go back to, but this is the Sweater of Dreams. Now what makes this pattern really, really interesting, hopefully you can see that okay, is that she doesn't give you, it's size inclusive, but she doesn't give you like A to M sizes. What she does is she gets you to fill out like measure bust, do this, do that, and she has a whole very easy to follow sheet, and she just gets you to take your measurement here, then times that by this amount, so you just need a calculator, that gives you that gives you this, da 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 da, and then you can make your own garment and basically, even though this is written for a DK, I'm going to use my 12 ply mohair that I bought in Napier, because you can alter it for your gauge. So I'm going to give it a go. I thought it's such a good idea. Like when you see that, you can see there's a lot of work in that. I also want to knit a pair of booties, baby booties, because friends of ours are having a baby in April, so I need to get that done. And I have got this, which I picked up from an op shop yesterday, and it's been washed. It's an old tablecloth. It's got a couple of marks on it, but very faint ones, sort of only in one spot. So I'm going to make a project bag out of it. Colours, these are my colours. So watch the space for that as well. Yes. What else was I going to tell you about? Oh, just life stuff now. I've been harvesting quite a few dried flowers, which you probably would see if you watch my gardening channel, but I thought you'd show you some of the things that I've just pulled off my drying rack. So when I had poppies growing, I saved all the little seed heads. Hopefully you can see that all right. And I've dried those because they add really lovely detail. Shiver me timbers, I'm so sweaty. And then these are my straw flowers. Can you see that? Some of them were a little bit too open, so when they're too far open, they basically dry. They dry like that, and the seed will start to fall out, and the flower will lose its shape. But that's okay. So I've got that. I've also got some hydrangea drying, some echinops, and some lavender, and some more straw flowers at the moment. So yeah, I'm going to have some fun doing bits and pieces with those. I also had a day where I made a whole lot of stuff out of plums because I didn't want any of our plums to go to waste. I made quill. I bottled some plums. I made plum sauce, like a savoury sauce. I made, what was the other thing I made? Jam, plum and walnut jam. I feel like there's something else and I've just, that might be it. Yeah, so that turned out really nice. It was good, and it happened, I just had this period of time last month or earlier this month, sorry, where I had a nest of really bad migraines, and it was all hormone related. Good news is I've gone to see another GP because my old one's gone, and this one's, she's really good as well. And we discussed going on to the estrogen gel rather than the patches, because here in New Zealand our pharmaceutical body is going to only fund one brand of patches, and it happens to be the brand that does not work for me. I basically get thrown right back to all my bad symptoms. I'm going to say this once and say this here, I might do a video about it, but I'm 99.9% certain now that my fibromyalgia is actually hormonal, and I was just, it was happening all at the same time as I was having, you know, disturbed periods and lots of other, you know, female issues, and I kept getting told I was too young, which I wasn't. So I might actually do a video about that, because I think it's actually a really, really, really interesting, it's an interesting topic, and I think more of us need to be talking about this, because if you're a woman, you're going to hit perimenopause at some point, and a lot of you out there watching this have already gone through perimenopause and menopause, because that's what my statistics tell me. But yeah, I'm very open with my daughter, because I would like her to not get a big surprise when she gets into her late 30s. So yeah, My mum was always very open with me, but we didn't have exactly the same symptoms, so yeah. The weather. Let's talk about the weather. It was really hot in December, you know, setting off to be a cracker of a summer. And then we got to Christmas Day. It was a beautiful sunny morning. Started raining that afternoon. And then after that, we've been sitting on an average of about 19 degrees Celsius. And the temperatures just started rising again now, but it's still quite wet. And Niwa had told us that we were going to have a drought this summer. But yeah, apparently the East Coast is exempt from the drought. It's good for the farmers, but also kind of not, because we have a lot of agriculture here, and a lot of rain can cause problems with mildew and mould and rotting and things like that. So yeah, but it is what it is. Oh, now there's a fly getting me. What else? Oh, I've been plastering the hallway between the bedrooms. It's a slow process because I know that when I'm starting to get a bit tired or lose concentration, I start to get a bit rougher. So I've been putting it down when I get to that point and then going back to it. But there's no fine. I just want it to be done well. And then I'll paint. So yeah, this is just a very brief update to do with that. And the other one is, those of you who are familiar, who know my daughter Jess, she had a bit of an accident. Don't worry, she's okay. But she went to a wedding 2 weeks ago and she danced. She danced like nobody was watching. She landed on her foot funny and she broke a bone in her foot. So she's broken her foot. Not only that, she went to A&E the next day because she didn't think it was that bad that night. Woke up and her foot had swollen up and it was all bruised. So she went into A&E and they did an x-ray, and the bone had not only snapped completely, but it had twisted. So we were back in the following, so that happened on a Friday night. So we were back in the following Wednesday. I took her in. She had a moon boot and crutches, and she had surgery to have a wire put in to hold the bone together, and then she's got to actually have that removed at some point. So now she's in a cast from the knee down. I call her Hoppy. Lucky she's had so many awesome people that have done so many nice things for her. Poor thing. She had a new flatmate. So she bought a house last year. She finally, you know, because she's been a bit fussy, and fair enough too, you don't want just some random living with you. So, and even just trying to find a decent flatmate. So she's been keeping an eye out for someone to rent a room. And she's got a girl who's same age as her, and she's a doctor from Scotland. And she's doing a year here at our hospital. So perfect. So she was arriving on the Friday after Jess's surgery. It's just like crikey. So I was over at her house, like, you know, doing a bit of dusting and making sure that that Zoe's room was ready for her and what have you. So yeah. So that's what we've been up to. Yeah. Oh my God, it's so muggy. How many times can I say that? I'm not going to say anything else. Other than that, we're all good. Evan's healthy, I'm healthy. The dog is healthy. He had a bath yesterday. He's nice and shiny. And I'm just ticking along, trying to form some good habits, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this coming year. So I hope you're all well, and I hope, well, the world's a bit of a mess right now, so let's just enjoy our craft and each other. That's all I've got to say about that. I love you all, and I will catch you next time. Bye.